much. My panelists I have with me, Izzy Thorne from our Customer Success Department. I've got Tracy P from the Marketing Department, and we are here to knock your socks off and level up your fundraising. This is your kickoff session, and we're going to let the fundraising begin. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
We are here to level up your fundraising. And like I said, this is the kickoff session. And by the way, this is more than a by the way, since 2011, we've done some math and we have surpassed $1 billion. It's not we, it's you. You guys have raised over $1 billion through Auctria. I know you call your donors the heroes, but you know me, I always think you got some capes on your backs also, and you guys are the superheroes as well. So congratulations to all of you on all the work that you've done on raising dollars for your amazing causes out there. This is what our agenda looks like today. It is jam-packed. You know, I always bring you quality information. This is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about our dashboard updates. We're going to talk about dashboard notifications. We're going to talk about website upgrades. This is so new and so exciting. Check in and check out. A quick review and a deeper dive next week on that, as well as a deeper dive on tickets next week. Reports and analytics, we're going to take a look at that. I brought along a couple examples from some previous webinars that we did on behavioral psychology, and then I have a couple more goodies up my sleeve for you. So I brought along Tracy and Elizabeth, so I'm going to go ahead and let them take the floor. We're going to start off with the dashboard, and Tracy Peterkins will be coming up, and she will be sharing this information. By the way, go ahead and put any questions you have in the chat pod. If it's relevant to what's going on, we'll answer it real quick if we can. And if not, we'll pin it and we'll do it later. Tracy, thank you.
So fun to be here today. And as we had mentioned, oh, sorry, I'm getting some feedback. Wondering if there, how does that go? Okay. It's great to be here today, and we're going to just jump on in. There's so much to be shared. And so for those who this is your first event, we so appreciate you joining us today. And for those who have used Auctria multiple times, you know how greatly we appreciate you as well. And so as you may have gone into the auction dashboard, if you've been with us for a little while, you would have noticed that we have updated it, and it is even more efficient than it was before. So one of the first changes you may have seen by default is our terminology. Auctria began in 2011 with auctions, but as we grew and as our user community grew as well, we started saying that that organizations were using Auctria for all kinds of events. And just so you know, we cheer that on. We are so excited about that. But with that, there was some customer feedback that they would like a broader terminology. So that change has been implemented as well. We've added some terminology choices. The first one you would have noticed is the participants on the dashboard. And then we also have changed it from default auction to event. So I'm just gonna change slides here. Sorry. There we go. So the new default with this is the more generic term of event and participation. And this will carry through your emails, your website forms, and your other activities. Auctria offers so much more than just auctions. We offer tickets and sponsorships, donation, raffles, for sale merch, and just so much more. And we've seen organizations use us for golf tournaments and pickleball and all kinds of wonderful art events. And so we wanted to make sure that we could reflect what you're doing as well. So the default will say event and participants under the terminology settings. But if you are having an auction and would like to have the auction-based terms, you can turn that back on as well. And you can go in and it will change it back. If you go to auction-based, it will change it back to auction and bidders. And again, that will carry through your emails and all the website click-throughs that your guests will see. Okay, and so I'm going to actually just jump over here to our dashboard so that we can just that we can show that. So here we go. Our dashboard scene is that it looks like it's showing for me. I just want to make sure it's showing for you. Lori, I'm looking for the nod. Thank you for that. Love the nod. Love when technology lines up as we want it to. So here I'm on the dashboard. As you see, here is the event and the participants. And as I mentioned, if you are wanting to change it back, you could go to terminology, and here you could click the pencil and make the update there. And now I'm going to jump on to another one of our dashboard changes we're really excited about, and that is the financial dashboard here. And you'll, again, for those who've used this for a while, you'll see that we've expanded this. We have some kind of the quick highlight views that we've been discussing and had been asked for. So you can see this great graph of net income. Just so you know, this is a demo database, so we do have some data, but we wouldn't expect you to have quite the drop that happened here. We love the lines that just go up, 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 and up. But this one, or net income, your profit and loss, and the cash flow. And if you click down, we also have a print. If you'd like to save it to PDF, or if you have a printer printed, you can print them as well. You'll notice that everything in blue is clickable, and so you can drill down to see more details if you'd like to know where those numbers come from. On the left-hand side, we also have some quick links to reports. You know that on the left-hand side, we have a full suite of reports, but we added some quick links to the dashboard just to simplify, what you may want to be seeing. And so we have the all income by type and by item category. If you are using categories for your items, this is a great report if you're trying to understand what categories had really drew better interest, had the higher income. You can segment your reports in that way as well. At the top here of financial, you'll also notice that is now where we house our credit card settings. You can click through here. You can, we're integrated with Stripe or authorize.net. You can come in, you can check your connection and any of the settings that you may have had or setting up. And again, this is where where we handle the fee handling for your current events. So if you want to see what's happening to the credit card fees, are you absorbing them? Are you charging them back? Is it optional? Under fee handling, that happens here under the credit cards. And then we also have a new payout section, and this is connected to Stripe. If you wanted to check on how your payouts are going, again, I'm in a demo. I can't show you live data, but it's really fun. I'm going to say the dashboards are so fun to watch as they grow, but you can also take a quick look that your payments have been happening within Auctria. And then the last area I'm just going to highlight today is the area of our items. And under our items dashboard, this is now where we're going to have our item donors information. So if you go here, you'll see we have the item donors dashboard. Again, these are the donors that have donated items where you can capture information on them, enter their logos, and that is where this is now housed. So I am going to just jump back to their presentation. And as you'll notice that we have gone through some slides here. We've added them to the slide deck so that when you do receive the click-through webinars page, you can go back and see this on the slide deck just as a reminder of where the new dashboards are housed. And now Elizabeth is going to come and share some more about our solicit items.
Thanks, Tracy. So super excited to talk about solicited items because a big part of many fundraisers is item procurement. So that's why Auctria has enhanced our solicited items feature so that we can better serve the organizations using it. So we have a few new things going on here, such as a donate an item online auction form and solicited item settings. So we added an option where you can upload the donor's logo, or the donor can, as they are going through. They can add their different fulfillment methods. The value field can be required, as well as a title. Event dates are now offered, which is great for sign-up parties. We see a lot of schools, churches, different groups using sign-up parties. And we've added options to say if you are the person donating, if you're doing it on behalf of a company, or if you're filling out the form on behalf of someone else, which is particularly great if you have a team of volunteers that are helping you add that data into the system. And then we have a few places where you can control the things that are going on here. So under items on the dashboard, if you go to solicited items settings, there is an option where you could put different fulfillment options. So this could be mail, drop off, create a gift certificate, and you could also require the value or description, like I said, and you can make it so that they are sent a confirmation email, the donor, once they've submitted the item. And they can edit it if they forgot to upload an image or maybe forgot to mention something right up until you accept the item. So super exciting things happening there. And this is an example of the email that I was just referring to. You can go in on the dashboard under Communication, System Emails, and edit this if you want to personalize it a little bit. This is just the generic template, but you're always more than welcome to go in and customize things. All right.
Hey, Izzy, while you're in that section, can you just talk about how you would share that to a volunteer or to an external person? Terry asks, can we give this form as a link and not make it visible to all website viewers?
Yeah, absolutely. You can have a hidden page and just share the link from the website directly to that page. We a lot of times will see groups create QR codes just to that specific donate an item page, share it out in, an email blast, those kind of things as well. But that's very common to just share that out, especially when your rest of your items and your website's not ready for maybe ticket sales or the auction or something like that. You can just share the direct page link.
I'm going to also pull up Angela's question real quick because you talked about the buy-in parties. Do you want to talk about that for a second? Because it's easy to do with the donation page.
Absolutely. So you can put, if it'll say is event, and if it is an event, you can put the date and time and location of it, and then the quantity available. So say I am donating karate lessons for 5.
I was going to say a barbecue party, but well, she has a little kid and I like to eat.
Well, there you go. So I could say that I had however many available for the quantity, and I could put date, time, and location, and then when I donate that, it's going to create it as an event in Auctria, and it will, on the catalog of the website, show when that is available, and people can just bid, and it will, or they can, if you have a set price, then they can just purchase it up until the quantity. So if I set quantity at 5, then it would show, that it's been sold. So super easy. Lots of schools use those, especially for like pizza parties or, different things like that. Great. All right. So now we are going to go over to tickets. We are going to take a much deeper dive, as Lori alluded to earlier, on our webinar next Wednesday regarding tickets. So today we're just going to give you kind of a little quick overview, sneak peek of what is going on with tickets. So the great thing about Auctria and selling tickets on Auctria is that the dashboard provides a space to streamline your ticketing. So ticket sales are included in all plans. You don't have to have a special plan to be able to sell tickets. This helps streamline the event. There's no need to upload or download guest data. If you sell tickets on Auctria, your guests will be automatically pre-registered as participants so that they can bid. And Auctria can track your ticket sales and provide e-tickets to those guests. So what's great about this is that it will allow them, for example, to pre-register their credit cards and update their contact information for the event, hopefully streamlining things for you at check-in if you're doing check-in. It provides one place to tell your story and for guests to use the link and to record all of their different activity rather than having to go through different sites. Auctria can be the home where all things are stored. So that is tickets, and here we have your ticket settings. This is on the dashboard. The great thing about ticket settings is it's all in one place. You can set ticket options like a maximum number of tickets you can sell, meal choices if you have them, different checkout options and online registration settings. So do you want to require their name their email, their phone number. Do you want to make it optional? Those kind of things there. You can also put your event details for your e-tickets, and that will automatically populate on the e-tickets that are sent out, and then registration contact options and guest information. So all of that is on the dashboard under tickets, and you can see the tickets dashboard for ticket settings. So here we have an example of how to purchase tickets on the website, as well as our tickets hub. And the tickets hub is where the information can be updated. So this is once again, on the left-hand side, that's an example of how they could buy tickets, and then they'll be prompted to add the guest information at checkout. If they don't add it at checkout, they can go into the Ticket Hub and update the information there, making it super easy. So next, we're going to go over, let me just toggle on. We have health checks. This is, I don't know.
I'm sorry. I thought I had my mic on. Real quick, somebody asked a follow-up question on the tickets, and it's very relevant. Should be quick.
Oh, yeah.
Previously, Barry said they created a ticket item. This new ticket option would be used instead. Do you want to talk about how things just kind of shifted a little bit?
They added a ticket item?
Yeah, they created a ticket item. The new ticket option would be used instead. How we moved everything onto a settings and
oh yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. So yeah, definitely. Before, you used to have to go a few different places if you wanted to change all of the different ticket settings, right? You would go in registration checkout options, you would go to the tickets tab, you could go into the actual email. Now it's been streamlined. You can just go on the dashboard under the ticket settings. You don't have to find where the ticket settings are. Just go on the dashboard, left-hand side. That's where the tickets tab is. Click on that, and then you have your ticket settings, and you'll be able to see everything related to tickets under that tickets dashboard, including all of your ticket items, how many tickets you've sold, so you can see how many you've sold and how many you have remaining if you've set a quantity, as well as ticket styling options in case you ran that ticket to your event. So all of those things now will be on the tickets dashboard. So it still would be an item. It would be a tickets item. So that part still remains the same. However, what we're talking about changed is finding the ticket settings, or not having to go looking, really just having them all in one place. All right, any more ticket questions that you saw there, Lori? Okay, perfect. Next, we're going to talk about health checks. This is easily my favorite thing that we've rolled out as of late, because it helps make sure that your fundraiser is as stress-free and seamless as possible by verifying that critical settings to help you avoid unexpected issues are brought up. So that's why Auctria created health checks. And health checks don't show by default on the dashboard. So if we are showing a health check on your dashboard, it's to try to bring it to your attention and to say, hey, you know, we don't maybe know what you're doing for your event, but this looks like it might be off. So you can, when you have a message for a health check, please click on that. There is an action link for each problem, making sure you can take the necessary steps to correct it. And if you need more details, like what does that mean, what's going on, where is this, you can click See Details, and it's going to guide you to the right place in Auctria to address the issue. If you don't know what that wording means, and you're like, what is Auctria trying to say? There is an option right next to it that says Learn More. And if you just click on Learn More, you'll be able to see a description, a breakdown of what that particular health check warning means. So hopefully you don't have health check warnings, but if you do, check it right on the dashboard, address it, and get sleep at night, because you'll know that you're addressing the major things. All right, next I want to talk about something else that is exciting, which is website upgrades. So we have smarter, even more efficient templates that we just rolled out. And I mean, I said health checks are my favorite, but these website upgrades, they are definitely a close second, because they'll also make it easier for you. I'm all for whatever makes streamlining your event happen. So here we talk about our smart brilliant templates. The templates have built-in visibility rules. This means that when you add tickets, a ticket page is going to show. When you add sponsorship opportunities, so you add sponsorship items, those are going to show. And if you add an auction item, an auction page will display. If you add sponsorship items or sell sponsorships, those will also show on the website. And add a raffle or ticket item, the pages will appear just like magic on the new website templates. The templates are dynamic and responsive to the data that you enter in the dashboard. So if you don't add tickets or you don't add auction items, you're not going to have a random empty page that says there are no items available or no items showing. So that is really exciting. Know that when you're in there, it will update based on what you put in the dashboard. And here we're going to go over, there are a couple new modes that were also released in the website editor for viewing the event website. You have basic mode, which is going to show the event website similarly to a guest viewing the site, and it's going to consider the appropriate states and conditions that have been applied. Then you have standard view, which is the default mode. So by default, it's going to be in standard view, and it's the most common. It states the current conditions. Then you have full mode. So this mode is going to show all currently implemented elements in the website editor, regardless of any state or condition. So even if the page is hidden, it's going to show it. This view is great if you would like to edit a page before it becomes available. So maybe you don't have the ticket items in there yet, but you want to add a little bit of verbiage or something like that. The full mode is great because you can see it before it's available. Another great thing about the new templates is we've added an option to share this event to allow people to help promote your event on Facebook, LinkedIn, X, Pinterest, or via email. So you'll notice this is in the bottom footer. And we know you've worked so hard to put this event together. We just want to help people spread the word and share your fundraiser, and that's what that's all about in the footer. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen for a moment just to show you what I'm talking about. So in just a second, you should see my screen, and I'll show you the website editor. So here we have an example editor page. This is the black and white template. All I did was put the name here. The rest is the default. If I go into the editor right here, in the bottom left-hand side, you see basic, standard, this is the default, and full. So you see up here these lines through it. Those mean there's a visibility rule. So in standard, not all of the pages are showing yet. But here I can go in and I can make changes with full. So those are all at the bottom, as well as a new release edit lock. So if you've ever been in the website editor, closed it and not hit the eye icon up here and try to go on back in, you may have got a website locked message. Well, now there's this super easy peasy button to hit release edit lock so that you won't get that message. If you're done in there and you know you're done, you just click on this and I'm out. And if Lori wanted to go in and make changes in the website editor, or I wanted to go back in, it wouldn't be a problem because I let the system know I'm done making changes. And I'm just going to show you on the dashboard really quick. Right here under website, edit website, that's how I got into the website editor. And here, just like tickets, we've tried to make things easy and we put your website settings right there. So a whole bunch of streamlining has happened to make it easier. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop it over. This is when do I see a smart template? So I told you about the smart templates. How do you get those? Well, you get those when you create a new event or a new website. If you've opted to copy your event or to copy your website, there's going to be no change from the prior version because it's the same website. So if you want to get those new smart templates, you're going to want to create a new website to do that. And then you can find this on, we have built-in analytics. Also, another exciting thing about the website templates, on the left-hand side of the dashboard under website analytics, you'll be able to see awesome analytics. And this is always been available. Google Analytics, you could before set up, but now this is just built in. Auctria has it streamlined so that you don't have to do any setup phase with all of our paid plans. We have website analytics included by default, which is really awesome because it can let you know what is driving traffic, emails, Facebook, social media, what pages are people visiting. It takes a lot of the guesswork out by showing you the actual numbers. So that is something we're also really excited to announce, is those new website analytics. So I'm going to pass it back to Lori to take a deep dive into behavioral science.
Awesome. I hope you got all that information from Tracy and Izzy. And if you didn't, don't worry. We will give you the slides. We will give you the replay, and you can watch it back a little slower, share it amongst your team, and take a look at things a little closer as you move along with your event website or your event altogether. So over the spring and into summer, we did a couple webinars on behavioral science, and we were talking about how behavioral science has finally cracked into the philanthropy and fundraising areas. And we had a marketing specialist on that talked about that in general. And then we also had an auctioneer that joined us. I don't think I saw him on our list today, to talk about how we can apply this behavioral science in fundraising with an event fundraiser using Auctria. So here's just a couple slides that I wanted to pull out. And these are just things so that you can think about as you move through your fundraiser, to encourage people to participate, to have greater engagement. That's one of the things that we get asked all the time. How do I get more people to bid? How do I get more people in the seats? How do I get more people to participate? So here's some of the highlights. Urgency in the room. So this is in the room. You want to do a couple things. You want to create a sense of urgency. You want people to purchase before everything is all gone. And purchase, what is that? Maybe the tickets, maybe the sponsorships, maybe the raffle tickets. We always hear about fear of missing out. You may feel that about going to a party or going to a sporting event. You know what? You can encapsulate that energy in your event fundraiser. So create that urgency, because you can put in quantities, you can put sold out information in your event website to get people to participate. People like to be part of a crowd. They like to be part of the group that's in the room. They like to be part of the group that is making change for your mission. So, it's no fun to come to an auction and not raise your bid card, right? They're coming there because they want to be energized. Labeling is kind of a way to do that. You label your people, your change makers, or your cancer research helpers, or your parent advocates, for schools. And then they become part of this audience and part of that crowd. They want to participate and crush those fundraising goals along with you. So the more noise, the more bid cards go up. And be sure to thank your supporters from past activities, and it will support your new attendees. People always ask us, how do I get more people in the room? You get more people when you do the right things at the end of your last event. Sending out those thank you notes, making phone calls, maybe some handwritten notes, and telling people where their dollars went, how they were spent, and thanking them. Have those warm touches throughout the times between your big events. And then organization success stories. You absolutely have to tie these back to support from your donors. So it's not just, oh, we ran this many activities and this many people received meals, or, let me scan through where you guys said you were tuning in from. This many people, we educated this many students, or we had this many students that were able to participate in a field trip. Tie it back to the donor. Because of your donation, this many students did this, or meals were fed. You filled this many bowls. You fed this many students. You healed this many animals. So just a little tweak in that wording should have a broad impact. And it all goes back to the psychology of fundraising and pulling that all in together. So that's your urgency in the room. Now I want to talk a little bit about the loss aversion. And these are only 2 slides or 3 slides from that webinar. There's a full webinar on this. So loss aversion in the auction. And I broke this down into 3. So you've got your online auction, your silent with paper bidding, and then you've got your live auction. For your online auction, it does not matter where you start the bidding, it's where you finish. And I'm quoting this from G Events because this is what they suggest when it comes to your online auction. It's going to bid up. You don't need to have it at the tippy top and just one bid. You're trying to get as many people to participate in your auction, bid back and forth, have some fun. The more bidders you have, the higher those bids are going to be. And look, even if they don't win, then you can go back and ask them if they want to donate. Then you can go back and ask them for participating. Then you can go back and include them in your downloads for your CRMs that they've registered so that they are still in your network and environment. So this creates a pride of ownership and a fear of loss. You want to educate your bidders on proxy bidding so that they can get the best deal on the items they want while supporting your cause. And that proxy bidding is going to push those bids higher, faster. Okay, so that's the online auction. Let's move to the silent auction, which in the system now we have that listed as paper bidding. So that is in the room, paper bid sheets, and a pen where people are filling it out. You want to do maybe some green line bidding, some special drawings, maybe a buy it now line. You want a loss aversion. You want to have that energy around, oh my gosh, I need to get in on this. I need to be a part of the silent auction. And for your live auction, when we're talking about loss aversion, they want to bid fast and they want to be the last to win. So that's where your auctioneer, your professional auctioneer, is going to be so vital in that live auction as well as the paddle raise. They're going to know how to work that room. They are going to know how to promote those items in advance while they're in the silent auction room or the activation room or the cocktail room, however you're going to call that in advance. They're going to say that it's only available right here tonight, creating that loss aversion. And sometimes, most of the time, it'll be only one of these available, whatever it is. Sometimes it's a priceless item. Sometimes it's an experience. Every once in a while, they'll pull a second one or a third one out of their pocket, especially for the trips. But all that is strategy with you and the auctioneer. So those are just a couple of the pieces that we talked about in that behavioral science webinar. I'll give you a link so that you can listen to it back, but there's a lot of information that was in there that maybe you'll cherry pick a couple of those and consider using them and applying those techniques for your next event. So Elizabeth alluded to this a little earlier. We do have a follow-up webinar next Wednesday, same time, 2 p.m. And we are going to take a deeper dive into tickets, a deeper dive into your check-in, check-out, as well as recording your bids, your final bids, your payouts, as well as recording all your live auction and paddle raise. So come along with us as we do this again, but with totally new information so that you can secure that momentum and raise as much money as possible. This is a shout out to giving days. I know we're in our events, but come fourth quarter, there's going to be a lot of giving days. Right now, San Diego Gives is happening right this week, and I think it started last week. Auctria was one of the preferred platforms for San Diego Gives. This is a localized giving day. A lot of organizations will use Auctria for a single donation only page. We have those auto set up for San Diego Gives. We will have them as an auto set up for Giving Tuesday. We always do a big push for Giving Tuesday to help you use Auctria, to help you streamline everything for that. If you have a giving day that's localized in your area and you think Auctria might be able to partner with somebody, ping me and I'd be happy to chat with you about it. So moving on, if you're feeling a little overwhelmed and you're like, eek, I don't know if I can do this, we don't have enough volunteers or people, Launch is a great option. Izzy leads that launch team, and they have 3 Zoom calls where you would have with a launch specialist. There would be a discovery call, a midpoint call, and a go live and a training call. Ongoing support, training for your check-in, check-out. They do the event as well as the website setup. There's event day emergency phone support. And most important, it saves you time. How else can you get back time? So you can add on Launch per event, and that's for our Emerald and our Diamonds. We also have Launch Plus. If you need help with graphics, they can help you out with Launch Plus. And if you feel like you need a couple extra calls, they will do a pre-event call. And then after your event closes, they'll even do a post-event call and help you pull your reports. And if you're like, Laura, I think I'm okay, but I just want some help to make sure that I really have everything set up. Or maybe you just need help with your Giving Tuesday, or maybe I just need help with my training. These are singular calls. You can either do a 20-minute call or a 45-minute Zoom call, and it's with an Auctria specialist, and it is your agenda, so you can use that time as you wish. The next piece of information I wanted to chat with you about is Auctria has been on the road for almost the entire year. We went to Toronto for AFP Icon, Association for Fundraising Professionals in Toronto in March. We did the Inspired Fundraising Retreat in Tennessee. That was a virtual event. We went to Miami for the National Association of Auctioneers Benefit Auctioneers Summit in Miami recently. So my question to you, so get your fingers out on your keyboard. I would love to know if there's a conference that you go to regularly that you love and you're like, Lord, you guys should be here. Feel free to drop that in the chat or feel free to email me. Either one, I would love to know, because we're working on our conference schedule for the next 18 months actually. And then I had mentioned it at the top of the session, meeting and continuing this conversation that happens in our chat online on Facebook. If you're a Facebook person, our Facebook group, Auction Team Talk, is the nicest page on Facebook. If you quick scan on that QR code, it should take you to the Facebook page. Hit like, hit share. Love to see you on there. There's all sorts of questions that get posed all the time. Lots of nice people that answer them. And I think there was a question about this earlier, and we'll take a deeper dive as soon as I get to the Q&A here. You can be inspired. Visit the events directory on Auctria. I think Tracy's around here. Maybe she can drop that link in the chat here also. If you elect to have your event public on our public events page, you'll see all of the public events on there. And you can pull back the curtain and see what everybody's doing. You'll see golf tournaments on there. You'll see parties. You'll see galas. You'll see online only auctions. You'll see ticket only auctions. And see how the one on the right for September 13th is gold and it's got that little rocket? That means that our launch team has helped that organization set up their event. So you can see what launch is doing for the organizations. And then I always bring along my final slide. Auctria is active on social media. Our Facebook group, Auction Team Talk, is the nicest page. You can always email us after this, hello@auctria.com, and encourage you to take a look at the Auctria launch or Auctria Assist if you want some extra help. Okay, so I know I just ignored a bunch of questions because I couldn't read the slides and do the questions at the same time. But I think my friends are here to slow me down a little bit.
We got you.
Go ahead and drop. any questions and comments that you have into the chat, and we will answer every single one of them live here. Tracy, you're going to moderate that for us, or?
Yes.
Figured. Thank you.
And some of them we answered along the way. Some were called out, but I'm going to try and read through them just to make sure we didn't miss something, or if there was a follow-up to that. So a little bit early on, we were talking about the donate items. Elizabeth, you were sharing about that. And the question was, can we give this form as a link and not make it visible to all website viewers? And the follow-up to that was, is this module addable in the website portion? And can you show us how to find that part where you would send a QR code or a direct link page? So to go back, yes, it can be a hidden page on our website. I believe Elizabeth shared that. Yes, it can be added to any website. And then the next question is, can you show us how to find that part where you would do that? And so,
I can do that if you want.
Oh, that'd be great. Thank
Okay.
you. And so, here we go.
All right. So in the website editor, there is an option to donate an item. You can go in here in your header and say add link to special page. There's one that says donate an item. So I am going to save that if it's not already in there. And the page has a name, donate an item. So you could use that, but typically you would just use this, and this is your web address. This way, if you change the page name or something like that, it won't change the URL. You can just pull it directly out of the lineup here. Make sure you're not in the editor. I'm in the public viewable mode right here. And you can go to a QR code generator and generate a QR code if you're putting it on flyers, or you can just use this one. If you want it to be hidden from the website pages here, for example, and you just want a direct link, you can hide it from the header by double-clicking on the header and clicking the trash can icon. This does not remove the page. I'm going to hit done. It does not remove it from the system. It just removes it from the header. So once again, I just double-clicked on the header. I clicked the trash can icon on the page I wanted and hit done. And the page, it's still here. It's just, it's hidden from the header view.
That's great.
Right.
And just to follow up on that, it did say, can you send a QR code? I believe we talked about that. And any one of these pages can be made into a QR code. You can do that. There's some free QR generators, or if you're using Chrome, actually, it's part of one of the options. If you click their three dots, I think, and share, you'll see that you can generate a QR code. As Elizabeth said, it's great to do it from the guest view when you have it displayed, and then you can send it out. Lori, were you going to add to that?
Yeah, I dropped in the chat one of my favorite QR code creators. Obviously, Chrome is the easiest, but I love the Code Monkey one, QR Code Monkey, because you can change colors. You can even put your logo in the middle of it. You can even put a logo with what's in it. You can create a logo, because I don't know how many times I create multiple QR codes for an event. I'm like, eek, which one was I supposed to give to the volunteers or give to the donation people? So I kind of make a little logo for each one. That way I can keep track of them. So that's just kind of my favorite. Plus you can change the colors as well. It's great. And Mackenzie gives me a thumbs up as well. All right, Mackenzie.
They are fun. They are fun. Barry asked, and again, we touched this, but I want to make sure it got answered for you. Previously, we created a ticket item. This new ticket option would be used instead, ? And as Elizabeth said, what has happened is it's been streamlined. So you'll see under the ticket dashboard, there'll be one place. If you've already created a ticket or copied over an admission ticket, you'll notice that it is already displaying there for you. So it's meant to streamline, I believe was the word you used, Elizabeth, which I love. So that should help streamline all the information and options you've done for your ticket. Warren asks, how do we notify the public of our event and guiding them to Auctria? That is such a great question. So I can start with what I think we all have ways that we love to help promote our own events. But Elizabeth, would you mind screen sharing and back to
Not
a
at all.
website? And I'm just going to do a little side note. We didn't have a website name, so maybe if we could create a website address, because that's what's going to
Oops.
be captured and shared. But generally, we would say that, we're going to show you where to get your own website kind of created name and your website address. And this is what Elizabeth is doing right now. And so, you get to share up to create a website address that is relatable for your community. And then you'll see here is the address that can be copied. Here's the QR code that can be copied. And generally, I've been just using whatever form of communication that is available to me. But all this can be copied. If you have a CRM, where they're used to hearing from you, you can send out the invitation that way. They can click through and they can come. Lori, Elizabeth, how do you do that?
I'm a big fan of creating Facebook events as well. I know there have been quite a few events I volunteered at or attended as a guest that I saw on Facebook events, and I regularly hear that. It's just one more way to get it out there. So reach out to your existing donors and people that have attended events in the past, if you've had one in the past, as well as creating an event on Facebook. Putting it on local community calendars is also a popular one that I've heard of. And having your auction committee or your event committee, your board of directors, having them do personal reach out rather than just generic reach out. It tends to work well when you have templates to give them, rather than just saying, hey, can you reach out and invite 5 to 10 people or whatever. Give them specific measurable goals. Can all of you please reach out to 10 people on email, 5 on social media? Here's a template, so they don't have to think about it, right? Because they're like, well, what do I say? How do they invite them? So if you can create some generic templates for your volunteers, for your board members, and give them measurable targets, to hit, it really helps quite a bit from what I've seen.
Awesome. And that behavioral psychology webinar has a lot of tips on it too. While you were in there on the website, there was a question that came in from Terry and also from Warren asking about, I just copied my event yesterday, but now I understand that the new is the better option. So if I create a new event, I can still use last year's website address. Would you like to chat about that?
Yeah, so it is totally okay if you want to copy the event, but not the website. So it gives you options on what to copy. If you've already copied the website, you can delete it. So, and then you can create a new website. So if I'm going to show you here, I'm going to share my screen to show you on the dashboard. There's an option under the website tab to delete the website. So if you do this for the new one that you just created, it will then give you an option to create a new website. You can choose one of the templates and start new. And you can then go into your past event up here on the top left drop down and click the one that you want to go into. And you can reference your past website if you need. If you're like, what did I have in there? I don't know, want to pull some copy. Know that you can always go back and reference the old one. And if you decide, I actually want to use that one, I like it better, or anything like that, you can always export the website and then go into the event you want it in and import it. So don't feel like you have to delete the whole event to get the new template. You could just delete the website and then start new.
Awesome. The follow-up question on that was, do I have to link Stripe, etc.? So your Stripe is by organization. It's not by event. So you don't have to make any changes to that. That carries throughout. Any other?
That was such a great question. I'm just going to jump up. We had, can a raffle page be added but not visible on the website? And the answer is yes. It certainly can. Elizabeth, I think, showed how it can be removed from the menu, but it is still available. Warren asked, can you provide more information on silent auctions for bidding, updating bids as we progress? I believe we talked about this a little bit more, and I don't know if we shared the information you were looking for, but if you're talking about online, if you have a bidding that's happening through your website, you can see the bids as they come in. If you're talking about paper bid sheets, those would be captured within on the paper only. So if you could share a bit more, Lori, Elizabeth, any other additional thoughts on that, or
No, maybe we can talk a little bit of terminology between paper and silent, because I think sometimes they get commingled.
Mm-hmm.
That is really a great point. So with silent items, as you said, Lori, it often means that it's not the live putting up your paddle in the room in front of everybody. But within Auctria, we have online, which means the bidding happens through the website, and we have a start and end time. And when the bidding closes, it's awarded to the bidder automatically. We have paper bidding, which is the bid sheets where you take the paper and the pen at the event, and your guests write down their participant number, their bidder number, paddle number, however you're giving it out to them, and they would enter the bids as they go. Elizabeth, would you share any more about that?
No, I think that covers it.
Okay, let us know, Warren, if we're close to answering your question. Laura asked, we've had a hard time with preview images for the sharing options. Does the sharing option include a preview image? And so that was, Elizabeth, when you were showing at the bottom of our website templates, or smart templates, that we have the new sharing options there. Yes, on the share this event. And so I am going to say that if you do share, oh, here we go. Thank you. It does. You want to make sure you have your auction logo in there. Mm-hmm. You are sharing your event that way. If you don't have an auction logo, it will go to your organization logo. It kind of has a hierarchy on that. And if you want to share an item, we actually have that from the items details page, and that will pick an image for your item. Angela asks, is it normal to change your website for each event? And yes.
It's a matter of preference. A lot of groups change it for every event if they have different themes. If last year was the Great Gatsby and this year is luau and maybe barbecue next year, dinner, they'll change their website to match their theme. Or if it's just an annual fundraiser that is not themed, a lot of times they'll keep it the same. So it really just kind of depends on what you have going on.
Mm-hmm. Or if they're doing a smaller event throughout the year, you have your big marquee event that's your big formal gala, but then you're using it also for golf in the summer, and then you're using it for a year-end Giving Tuesday. They're obviously going to have different tones, different messages, and probably some different visuals that you want to go along with it.
Kathy asked, there was a series of questions on what is proxy bidding or max bidding that we had talked about. And then there was a question about green line bidding and if that is offered within Auctria. And then somebody said, could you answer both those questions? So I can start with, I'm not sure, did we share about, but we do. So proxy bidding or max bidding is when a bidder comes in on the online auction items that would be considered within Auctria as an online item, and they get to enter in their current bid and the max bid amount that they would like to go up to. So if an item was worth up to $500, then I came in and I'm like, it's at $250 now. I'm going to put in a max bid of $350. The system will handle the bidding that comes against them. Say Lori and Elizabeth come in and they start bidding against me. It will up my bid to the max amount. It won't go over the max amount, up to the max amount. And when that is reached, I stay the winning bidder. But when, Lori bids more than my amount that I've entered, then it then turns as she becomes the lead bidder in that area way. So it's just a function that allows bidders to enter an amount to step back a little bit and let the system do the bidding for them up to their max.
Awesome. And the green line bidding is in the room. A lot of times they'll put a line across the higher amount of the bids because they're trying to get people to bid higher. And this is manual. This is just something fun in the room. And then they'll throw those people names in a raffle, or whoever has the highest, or a star next to a level. They'll grab those papers and then they'll raffle off, anybody that was above the green line or anybody that had a starred bid amount. And it's just to encourage those bids to go higher.
Great ideas. And then Evelyn asked, do you have a one-on-one meetings? I would like to set one up with my team. And so thanks for reaching out. We talked about some of the options, but if you could email us at, here it is. Thanks, Lori. I was going to say, you have the slide up there. So there is ways that you can add on assist calls. These calls can be recorded if you would like them. So they're wonderful resources where you can ask the questions. Our assist launch teams are fantastic, and they can cover a lot of information. And then we also have the add-on launch.
Awesome. I saw a note on Canva. Somebody was asking if we have Canva integration. We do not have a Canva integration, but I love Canva and I use it all the time. So I'm cheering you on if you're using Canva, but we are not integrated with Canva.
We do have that handy resources section for the tickets and for a few other graphics. So if you're on the dashboard, and let me see if I still have it open. If you are on the dashboard, we have a section called resources, which is really nice because it shows you some helpful checklists and things like that. But I can go here and you can see resources on the top left. If you scroll down, there is a section that says Canva templates that can be used. So admission tickets, raffle, Giving Tuesday. And if you click on these, then it will take you in and you can use the template for a design, and it will take you right into Canva to start editing the template. So that's for tickets, raffles, Giving Tuesday. And then we also do have an Auctria image library of just preset images. If you're like, you know what, I just want some golf images or things like that, we have a lot of those there.
Awesome. Thank you.
Laura asked, can I only have one website at a time if I wanted for an event and Giving Tuesday? And the answer is you can have two websites. You can have an event and you can have Giving Tuesday going simultaneously at the same time. So you definitely can have two events under one organization that would be considered live. What we do like to share is that it is, if you're integrated with Stripe, it is the same Stripe account. So you might want to recognize, where you would go into each event and run your own reports if you wanted to differentiate where the money was initiated from.
And it's one website per event. So like Tracy said, you could have two websites, but you would need two different events.
Yes, thanks. This is a great question. Thank you, Jessica. Do you know when the advanced filter option will be available for filtering auction item? Looks like it's still being developed. I'm just going to, so that is one of the areas that we are continuing to roll out. And we do have a filtering for those that might be a little bit more new, where you can select types of items in our reporting. Our advanced filters actually was to allow a much more granular SQL style of conditions that could be added rather than we have a straightforward. This just allowed for some more complexity. And I'm not sure how to answer that one. Lori, Elizabeth?
Do we know advanced filter option available for filtering auction items? Well, oh, Lori, you're muted. I see you talking, but you're muted.
Yeah, we did have the advanced filtering on our reports, like Tracy was talking about. If you want to do this and that, or this or that, I'm bumping up against where that is on the auction items. Maybe that's the reports area. it is there, I think. I haven't used it in a while. I'll have to pop back in.
In items, in items, there are different filters that you could set. So it is under the
I don't
item.
know why it said, why she's asking if it's still being developed though. Did we have something in there that said coming soon? Maybe it was in our user guide. It said coming soon. Jessica, tell me more. Tell me more. Answering Angela's note on the green line. So it's like buy it now. Some will do it. Some will have a buy it now line on their silent bid sheets, and then somebody grabs it and they can buy it now. Some of them will have a green line. Anybody above this will be entered in a raffle. It's just different ways that people run their paper bid sheets. Yes, when I look at the help desk, it says under development. So usually if it says under development, it's probably that user guide page is under development, that they're adding more information to that user guide page. Correct, Izzy, Tracy?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sorry about that. Thanks, Jessica.
Yeah. But if you did have some questions, you could always reach out at hello@auctria.com if you had a specific question on the filter you're trying to create.
Our dev team moves fast. And so our user guide team is always catching up with them. So if they're in the process of it, they'll put a work in progress or a coming soon page that will be supporting that. So we don't want to wait for that to have those features available for you.
And just to show you, right here under organization, if you were trying to find that, where you can set the filters, it's under organization and then filters. And this is where you can create your filters. And then when you go to, you have different items, you have all items here, you have different filters. It says none, but that's because I have not created any filters yet. So I just wanted to show you really quick in case you're wondering where they're at.
Thank you.
Thank you. Warren had a follow-up question because we asked a little bit more about the silent bidding. I think that was you, Warren. It was last year. I included paper bid sheets, thank you, with items with client names, as some clients bidded on both. Once paper bidding was closed, I entered the data into Auctria manually and update with the items sold dollar amount. I was to capture and consolidate bids to capture online payment, cash, and check payments. All data was captured for financial reports. It worked for us. I don't believe there's a better way. And that would be correct. If you are capturing bids on paper bid sheets, they are manually entered. I'm not sure if you just entered the winning bidder amount or if you were trying to capture any additional information. And we do on our dashboard, we have a bidding sales page, and we do have a quick bid entry page that simplifies, that we all love. Lori's smiling. Love this page. And so that is a great way to get some of that information in more quickly.
Which do you like better, a basket, a button, or a quick entry page? Maybe that should be my next poll for next week. These are Lori's favorites. Which one is yours?
And then I'm just trying to look at me trying to lean in with my glasses on. I think Terry answered. Thank you to Warren. That was our process too. We had runners who gave the silent auction bid sheets to our registration team, so the info was in the system ASAP. That is the way we've done it. And we always kind of joke that you want that team to be kind of tucked away because everybody wants to talk to them at the same time. So we try to tuck away, and then they can focus because it is really fast. It is really fast.
That is my other number one hot tip. Go find a nice quiet corner to set up your admin desk, but make sure you have Wi-Fi in that deep, dark corner and some good lighting.
And then we have a bunch of thank yous. So, thank you. Thank you so much for being here today. Oh, Evelyn has another question. Thanks. That's great. So let me ask another question. In order to have one-on-one with your team, I need to purchase a package.
So yes, if you want to have a one-on-one with our Auctria team, then yes, it would be an assist call. And that way it's your agenda, your event. There are welcome calls that happen throughout the weeks. If you wanted to be on a group welcome call, But in order to have that focus time with the team, yeah, you would want to pick up an assist call. Or if you want some greater help and let the Auctria team do the work for you, or a lot of the setup work for you, then launch is a great option, especially if you're just hanging out with Auctria for the first time. Then they'll do all the setup work for you. You'll have your launch specialist, and then you can copy your event the following year and DIY it yourself, or continue to work with our launch team. We have plenty of organizations that pick up launch year after year after year.
Evelyn, I really appreciate it. You are staying with us on that, and she's having a challenge finding the assist call listed on the packages.
I had sent the direct link. I can redrop it in there. This will be the direct link to assist.
And it's on our pricing page. If you go to our pricing page, scroll down, you'll see the two little astronauts on there, and they look just like this guy here.
It's kind of a scroll down. You'll see our licenses, then some information on launch, and then scroll down, and then you'll see the assist with the click through buttons. And
awesome.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I was trying to bring it up. I was like, I was trying to see if it was the same.
That is so wonderful.
And you can always drop in the chat and email too. So we're happy to answer any questions that you have in the chat. And that also allows us to provide screen captures and things like that, and to see what's going on. So know that you're always more than welcome to drop as many questions in the chat or an email. We're happy to answer them.
Awesome. Tracy, is that it? Is there anybody else?
I think it's quiet for now. If we missed a question, please drop it in again. We don't want anybody to. We want every question answered that we can do right now.
Live. Let's have it live.
You know, if we could answer a question here, we would love to do that in about the webinar, about any follow up. But it's quiet in the chat right now.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate each and every one of you for sharing a little bit of your day with us. I always wish everybody bids that soar. I hope you crush your fundraising goals. Tracy, you get the second last word, and Izzy, you get the very, very last word.
Well, I'm just looking. Angela says, see you next week. And looking forward to it, Angela. We hope you can join us next week for our deeper dive into some other features. And so thank you for joining us today.
We know it's event season and a lot of you are knee deep in the thick of it. We want to wish you the best of luck, and we are really out here rooting for you, and so appreciate you letting us be a small part of your fundraising journey, because I have to say it's pretty awesome going to work knowing we're helping groups that are doing amazing work in their communities, and we really just appreciate all of you allowing us to be a small part of that, like I said. So we hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, week, and until we talk again, we will see you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.